Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Do you want to have a YouTube channel or make a vlog or make some other kind of videos, but you're just not comfortable with being on camera? You're concerned about what you might look like, and that's holding you back? Well, let's talk. And I can only give you my experience. I made my first YouTube video 14 years ago, and yeah, I was a little concerned with how I looked, but I was so passionate about the subject that I made the video anyway, and I'm really glad that I did. And, after that, and I started making more videos, and I started to get really kind of, self-conscious every once in a while. Gee, my lips stick together when I talk sometimes. I should put some Vaseline on them. Or my head's funny shaped, and it's like a little bit like Gumby, and it's a little bit too narrow, and my ears don't line up with my eyes, so my glasses can be a little weird, and I'm constantly adjusting them. And, do I look funny? And all that kind of stuff. And you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. When I watch other YouTube channels, even the talking head ones, I don't care what the people look like. Yeah, I might think, oh, they look funny, or they look, they're attractive, or whatever happens to be for like a half second. Can I snap my fingers? But really, the important part to me is the content. Is it something that's relevant to me? Does it move me? Is it something that I find valuable? And if you're making something that's valuable to people, they're not going to care what you look like. Trust me, it's really not that big of a deal. You may be a little freaked out by watching yourself as you're making the video. Like I'm making this on an iPhone so I can see myself, because I don't have a stand to turn it around with. And, I made it on computers before, so I could see myself. And I remember making it on computers where it was a mirror image. So I'd move this way and it would move that way. Wasn't a mirror image. So that was really kind of disconcerting. So I had to flip it around so it didn't look so bizarre to me. But sometimes you can get a little bit, self-conscious as you see yourself. If that's a real big problem, buy a stand that turns it around. But I don't have one. I'll show you what I'm using in a minute. The biggest thing I have to remember to do is to look right there towards the camera, because very often if I'm looking right at me or over here, well, then I'm kind of looking away from you. So that's something to be aware of. But honestly, it doesn't matter. And the lighting, I remember the first video I made, I had this light that was this big mercury vapor or some kind of halogen or sodium light. I forget what kind it was. It was something my brother found, and it's meant for lighting up parking lots. And it was so bright, but the room I was in was really dark. And I remember taking my glasses off for a bunch of those videos because I saw that there was so much reflection in my glasses. I thought it might be disconcerting and distracting to people. Nobody cares, And once again, you don't need really fancy things. I'll show you what I'm using right now. Using this thing. It's like a book stand. I've got this other thing that's like another thing that holds your iPhone. It looks like a chair. I've been trying out, which I don't have in this room right now. I got this light here. This really fancy light. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I'm using. And right now, like I put these thing back without the foam. And see, Susan tells me, my girlfriend tells me, well, it really distracts her ADHD-wise because she can see the ceiling. And so I try to put these little pieces of foam here and see if that helps. Does that help? Do we care? Do we care that my thumb's in the picture now? Probably doesn't matter. There it is. I'm sorry, sir, you're going to be distracted. The bottom line is nobody cares what you look like. It's not that big of a deal. And being in front of camera in the beginning can be a little bit disconcerting. But you just talk like you're talking to a friend. You talk like you're talking to somebody that you're trying to teach something to. If you teach classes or whatever. So you just imagine as another human being, because that's really ultimately what you're doing. You're talking to another human being when you're doing this. You just can't see them. So I hope some of that helps. Getting over that fear and that discomfort it can be hard sometimes, and it can be a struggle for a while, but it's worth it because ultimately, it's your message that counts and not what you look like. Look at me. There's only so much you can do.